Hey everyone, welcome to lesson 14. We're going to be talking about converting metric units of mass, and you'll notice it's pretty much the same thing as converting units of metric volume and units of metric length. This visual is probably looking pretty familiar by now. So since we're talking about mass, you'll notice the only difference this time is that our base unit has changed to grams instead of liters or meters, because grams are what are used to measure mass. In this example, I'm converting 3/1000ths of a gram into milligrams. So I'm going from a bigger unit to a smaller unit. So if I start at my base with my 3/1000ths of a gram, I can see that I need to move 3 places to the right to get to milligrams, and I do the same thing with my decimal, and that leaves me with 3. In this example, I'm converting 25 milligrams into grams. So if I put my 25 in my millimeters box, I notice that there's no decimal in that number, which means it must come after. And then to convert from milligrams to grams, I see that I have to move 3 places to the left, and when I do that, I end up with 25 thousandths. Again, in this conversion, I'm going from a smaller unit to a larger unit. So I'm going to place 294 in my milligrams box with the decimal placed after. And then to get to grams, I need to move that decimal 3 places to the left. When I do that, I end up with 294 thousandths. Here, I'm converting a larger unit to a smaller unit. So that means that my decimal is going to end up moving to the right. So if I start with 13 7/10 grams and I'm trying to get to milligrams, I see that I need to move 3 places to the right. So I do the same with my decimal and get 13,700. Here's another example of converting larger units to smaller units. This time I have 43/100ths of a kilogram, and I'm converting to grams. So that means that my decimal is going to move 3 places to the right, and that will leave me with 430. Here I'm converting 8,240 milligrams to grams, so I'm going from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, which means my decimal is going to move to the left. If I start out with millimeters, I have to move 3 places over to get to my base, which is grams. That means my decimal moves 3 places as well to the left, which leaves me with 8 24/100ths. Now let's use what we know about conversions and apply it to a real-world situation. In this situation, Emma has 5 kilograms of potatoes and 2 kilograms of onions. She plans to use 3 25/100ths kilograms of potatoes and 550 grams of onions for a recipe. How many total kilograms of the produce will not be used? First, I convert the amount of onions used in the recipe from grams to kilograms, which leaves me with 550 thousandths of a kilogram. Then, since the units are the same now, I can add the amounts of potatoes and onions in the recipe, which leaves me with 3 800 thousandths, or 3 8/10. Finally, I subtract that from the total amount of potatoes and onions, and I end up with 3 2/10. Let's consider this situation. A US nickel has a mass of 5 grams. A US penny has a mass of 2 50/100 grams. What is the mass in kilograms of the coins in a bag containing 186 nickels and 72 pennies? First, I would multiply 5 and 186 to find the mass of the nickels. Then I would multiply 2 and 50/100ths by 72 to find the mass of the pennies. After that, I would add those two amounts together, and finally, I would convert that from grams to kilograms. That's it. Are you ready for assignment 14? If not, you can always rewatch this video or wait until after our math meeting so that you can get some more practice.